Hello everyone and welcome. In this next video we're going to go into sending documents to the other applications. So I'm going to break it into the ADM and the SDL. So for the first one we're doing the ADM, and we are going to talk about the automation button versus sending to FileNet. So let's just talk about this before we get into actually what's happening here, right? So just for everyone to know, we're logged in as the ADM. And then we have this this step 3 button here. So this button is going to take any of the standards. So if I go to the standard status, any standards that are ready for national release, it's going to send that to FileNet. It's then going to search for the practice overview and the network effects diagram and send both of those to FileNet as well. And then it's going to mark the standard as final. As released. So these three documents will be in FileNet, then links will be generated for those, and then an email is going to be sent to the PSRC to update the NHCP webpage with these three links. Now, so what's the difference between the manual way and the automated way? Well, the automated method, right, is going to take all of the standards that are ready for national release. So if you have 4 or 5 or 6 standards that are all being released at the same time, it will do all of them together. And it will automatically transfer the practice overview and the network supporting documents. So that's a huge benefit to using the automated method. But with that, it has to be ready for national release, and the supporting documents have to be final. Let me put that in at our final. So why would you want to use the manual way? Well, for one, in case anything goes wrong in that automated process, you always have a backup plan to get the document to FileNet. And then you can get the link to use for the NHCP webpage. Now, you can also use the manual way if you just want to update the document in FileNet. Let's say you just want to, you had a small pen and ink change. You can just send that document to FileNet, it updates it, and then no other changes have to be made. Or if you want to store any of the other supporting documents in FileNet for archiving purposes. So if you wanted to send the national statement of work, you can transfer it to FileNet. It will be there. If you want to send a copy of the NHCP notice as you are releasing them, so release 180, 181, 182, you can right click and send those to FileNet. And then for the NHCP notice, right, there'll be versions, so you can always see when these documents were released. So let's do those. So I didn't make any supporting documents for this 516 that I'm now realizing, but we can still go ahead and send this one to FileNet. So if I use CPS management, I can do this release CPS and then just hit transfer to FileNet. And so it will take that standard, it will make it into a PDF, it will store it into FileNet, and there we go. Transferred successfully. And you see no other documents because I didn't create them. And then, right, we generated this link to the PSRC and ADM for 516. And then here's the link to the document. And then again, I didn't do an overview or a network effect, so there's no document provided. And then if I go back to the document, it's now showing as released. And again, just a recap, right? So the preview on the right here is incorrect, right? You'd want to do the right click and re-index again, and that will generate a new index or new preview, right? So you can see the new preview. Okay, so manual way. So that was automated way, right? So it would have done the standard and the supporting documents. Now the manual way, let's say we made a pen and ink change here. all I have to do is right click, do FileNet options, and then do send to FileNet. And then that will update the document in FileNet with the latest PDF copy. Now you would have saw another option here in the FileNet options, and that is get URL link. So if for whatever reason the PSRC email doesn't work right, or you're sending another document that you want on the NHCP webpage, or you want to send a document to a colleague, that'll put them, you can basically use FileNet to store documents, and then it'll generate a public link that you could send to a colleague or someone that needs access to that document. And you could copy this link with Control C and Control V. So Control C is going to copy and Control V is going to paste, and use that link accordingly. And so that right-click process will work for any document at the national level. As long as you're an ADM, you'll have that feature. Let's find, so here we have the network effects. That's not the right status. Let's find a good document to use here. I am drawing blanks here. Go on. All right. These will work. Let me make this statement of work final. Or let's see if we have a better example. Nothing is finished. Is there any in here? Okay, here we go. We found one finally. Right, so you can use the manual process for any non-practice documents as well. If I wanted a copy of this in FileNet, I can right-click FileNet Options and send to FileNet. And that will transfer the document manually to FileNet. And then I can always do FileNet Options, get URL link, and then I have a link to that document to send and to use accordingly. And again, I could do it for the NHCP index. So I've now transferred the NHCP index to FileNet, and I can get a link for it. All right, so just to recap, right, so the automated method is going to take all standards that are ready for national release, and it's going to take their practice overview and network of supporting documents. So practice overview needs to be final. Actually, no, yeah, both need to be final. Yep, both need to be final. And the manual method is used in case something breaks in transferring these three documents. And it can be used to update documents for pen and ink changes. And it can be used if you want to send any document into FileNet for storage for archiving purposes. And it can also be used to store documents to send to external parties. All right, so just to explain the last one again, right? So I can send any document to FileNet. It'll give me that link, and then I can email or send that link to any colleague that I need to use that document. All right, well, thanks for watching. The next video will be on the SDL manual versus automated process. Thanks, bye.